Good afternoon, gang, from a cold, rainy, again, 4 days in a row here, Eastern Tennessee. And that's kind of something I want to talk about. Before I start, though, I just wanted to say thank you. I went to the post office this morning, and Mrs. P got a very sweet gift from Mr. and Mrs. Okie Forge. She had made Mrs. P a couple of hand-knitted pot holders, which are really cute. So, thank you. That was really nice to see these. So they will definitely get used, and inevitably I'll get them dirty. So that would be me. So I hope they wash well. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about here, and like I said, cold, rainy day. I mean, fall is here. We're at the end of September. You know, down around me, temperatures this week are supposed to be in the high 60s, low 70s. And I was telling you guys a couple of weeks ago, time to start thinking about, getting ready for winter. Now, we all know how this green energy charade is going on. Oh, let's get more wind power, let's get more solar power, let's take care of all that. We saw how well that worked last year for Germany when they got hit with a massive snowstorm that covered all the solar panels, and oh gee, I'm sorry, the power's out for everybody. Why? Because the sun wasn't shining. Okay. Now, we're coming into cold weather again. For those of you up north of me, cold weather. For those of you in Europe, cold weather. For those of you in Australia, it's going into summer, so you can laugh at us. Not that it ever gets that cold down there anyway. But this is the effect of the green movement. And if anybody noticed what's going on in England, all right, there are 55 electric companies in England. And, there's multiple ones here in the United States, Commonwealth Edison, PSE&G, National Grid. I've got Powell Valley Electric. I mean, there's probably 100 plus here in the States. But again, we're a bigger country than Great Britain is. Here's the scary part. Since August, okay, so if you go back to August 1st, that's 7 weeks, you now have had 7 of these utilities go bankrupt. Right now, you have 1.5 million households in England who have been affected by an energy supplier collapse. Now, you want to know why? Prices for energy are going through the roof. You think I'm kidding, okay? Natural gas prices up almost 5 times since this time last year, and electricity prices up almost 5 times since this time last year. Imagine if that happens where you are, okay? My whole house runs on electricity, with the exception of my oven and stove. Don't ask me why they built the whole house on electricity and just the oven and stove on propane, but that's the way they built the house. Okay? I didn't build it. Okay? I got the backup propane heater. We got a 500-gallon tank of propane. We've been in the house for 2.5 years, and I haven't filled the propane. The propane tank is still at 67%. Okay. I guess there's enough propane in there running off my stove that I probably got 10 years worth of propane each time I fill it. Who knows? Okay. But my electric bill on the other side is a different story. Now, granted, it's still summer. I just paid my electric bill today. It was $167. Now, granted, it was a warm month. August, half August, half September. We're up in the 80s and 90s, so the air conditioner was running. Okay. But my electric bill here in the summer is usually pretty much the same as winter because I have electric heat in the house and a heat pump. My electric bill was $167. Multiply that times 5. Okay? If I had an $850 electric bill, I'm in big trouble. Okay? And I think all of you guys would say the same. This is what green energy is doing to the public, okay? Because they've got to pay for all this infrastructure for windmills and solar panels and all this sort of stuff, you know. Okay? Things don't generate enough electricity to pay for themselves. I think I told you that the lifespan on a windmill is 30 years. And in 30 years, that windmill does not create enough energy to pay for itself. All right? So it's a losing proposition. Again, if it's not a windy day, no electricity generated, poof, you got problems. Same thing with solar panels, you know. And of course, then you have the UN meeting yesterday where, you know, the potato in chief here, you know, our pretender in the White House, the local resident, is promising to get us to spend more money to get more green energy around other countries in the world, you know, that, you know, it's all of a sudden our responsibility in the United States to make sure that, you know, Sudan has green energy. Don't ask me why, okay? So again, your taxes will go up. But you get into this. In England, what are they not using all of a sudden? Oh, that little black rock. Coal, okay? Remember the Democrats' favorite war on coal? Remember Hillary Clinton, I'm going to put all the coal mines out of business? You know, remember 45 coming in and saying he's ending the war on coal? I dig coal. Remember that one? You know, West Virginia, Kentucky, all, you know, northern Appalachia there. You know, coal is still the best resource we can use for heat, for electricity, et cetera, et cetera. But these idiots who want to keep going with green energy are going to drive the coal miners out of work again, okay? And then, of course, they're going to drive the price of power, heat, whatever, through the roof where people can't afford it. You know, let's get another situation like Texas last year. Gee, let's freeze a whole bunch of people because there's not enough solar power. There's not enough wind power. So we get a bunch of cold people freezing to death. Well, there's a pile of coal sitting there waiting to be burned that can be used to heat people's homes and everything like that. All right, winter's coming again. We aren't ready for this as a world to be completely green. We all know this. You know, your electric vehicles, great. Where are you going to charge the damn thing? I've said this many times. This is what it means as a prepper, guys. You know, you need to have now alternate sources of energy. Like I said, my electric bill goes to $850 a month. Okay, ain't no freaking, I'm not using computers, I'm not using lights, I'm back to using candles. Okay, I can't afford $850 a month electric bills. I don't think anybody else can. Maybe Bill Gates can. Good for him. Okay, so do we get into that situation where electricity and heat are only for the rich and powerful, and the plebes, all of us, are not allowed to have it because it's cost prohibitive? Because, oh my God, you're damaging the environment by keeping warm. Yeah. All right. Guys, power-wise, however you can, invest in something as a generator, okay? Gas generator, solar generator. I told you how I can work those one into the other. So 1 hour of gas turns into 11 hours of power. With the EcoFlow, that works well. If you have the ability to go out and stock up on some extra propane for heater or liquid natural gas, if that's what you use, do it. If you have the chance to fill your heating oil, if you do it, if you can buy futures on your heating oil. I know there's a lot of places that say, okay, if you pay for it now, you can get the prices now and we'll deliver it, in January, next year, whatever it is. If you can do that, do that. Because what's going on in England should be telling everybody right now what's coming to the U.S. And if we start seeing the price of fuels and power go up like they are in the UK, we're in a world of shit. Okay. Stay warm. Keep prepping. Stay ahead of the game, guys. This is what we do. When everybody else is going to be crying and screaming, going, "What do?" We should somehow be there and maybe be the ones to help. All right. If you got a fireplace, get extra firewood. If you've got a wood-burning stove, get extra firewood. If you have the ability to burn coal, get extra coal. Whatever it would be, somehow stock up on whatever you can to generate your own power, your own heat, because winter's coming. So grand solar minimums here. There's, from everything that I've seen on long-range winter forecasts, we are supposed to have a brutally cold winter, and with natural gas prices up, oil prices up, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that's going to make it for a brutally expensive winter. So do what you can to stay ahead of the game. We'll see y'all later. Pinball out.